What would you attempt to do if you knew you could not fail? When thinking about the word failure, what symbol do you associate more with the word failure? Raise your hand if that's a green circle. And raise your hand if that's a red stop sign. If you could achieve something with 100% success and 0 risk of failure, what would you attempt to do? It's interesting to think about what our brains come up with when asked this question. Oftentimes, our answers relate to unique passions that we have, goals we've set for ourselves, and dreams that may be lingering in our minds, just waiting for a key to unlock them. Today, I'm going to give you that key. Please imagine I hand you a blank piece of paper and a pen and ask you to write down your answer to what would you attempt to do if you knew you could not fail. Please go ahead and do that now. Thank you. Go ahead and tuck that imaginary piece of paper away in your purse or your pocket. We'll revisit it later. Today, I'm going to start the process of having each and every one of you realize what it is you would attempt to do if you knew you could not fail, and how to make that process a reality. What is failure? In order to determine what we would do if we knew we could not fail, we must first discuss what failure is. Did you get a perfect score on the first college exam you took? Have you ever missed a deadline? Have you ever been cut from a sports team? And did you hit a baseball the first time you swung a baseball bat? Probably not. Neither did I. Raise your hand if you know who Babe Ruth is. Babe Ruth, Major League Baseball's 3rd place all-time home run leader, hit 714 home runs during his MLB career. He also struck out over 1,330 times. So what is failure? Failure is essential in order to succeed. Now, is Babe Ruth viewed as a failure? Considering Babe Ruth was inducted into Major League Baseball's first ever Hall of Fame class in 1936, it's safe to say Babe Ruth is not viewed as a failure. We have all failed at something. We have all put forth our best effort and not achieved the result we wanted, and that's okay. Pencils have erasers for a reason. We are not supposed to get it perfect on the first try. For many of us, failures provide added motivation. For some of us, failure provides a change in path, and for others, failure provides a lesson. Many of the world's most successful individuals have had major failures throughout their lifetime that help propel them to where they are today. In order to achieve anything that we want, it's important to realize that failure is an essential part of the process. What is a growth mindset? According to Stanford professor Carol Dweck, a growth mindset describes individuals who believe their most basic abilities can be developed through hard work and dedication. Brains and talent are just the starting point. This view creates a love of learning and a resilience that is essential for success. When faced with failure, it's essential to view this process as a stepping stone toward progress in our journey. Many of us, including myself in the past, never reach that fear of failure because we're afraid. The fear of failure often impedes us from success and limits us from taking that initial step forward. So how exactly do we go about developing this invincible mindset where we can achieve anything that we put our minds to? The answer lies in developing a growth mindset. A growth mindset means you thrive on challenge, don't see your failures as a way to describe yourself, but rather a springboard for growth and developing your abilities. Obviously, none of us are trying to fail when we set out to achieve something. However, when failure strikes, and it will, being able to use that failure as a weapon in order to advance our skills, mindset, and mentality will enhance our growth and our likelihood of success. Successful people crave mistakes, and failure is life's greatest teacher. Failure will make you reach your potential, build character, and most importantly, form you into you. The first step towards developing a growth mindset is to determine what type of mindset we currently have. When facing a new or challenging situation, many of us have a voice inside of our heads that helps guide us in that decision making. If you ever find yourself thinking, it's going to be so embarrassing if I don't succeed. What's going to happen if I fail? Or if I don't try, nobody can make fun of me. Then you likely have a fixed mindset. According to Dweck, a fixed mindset describes individuals who believe their abilities are fixed traits that cannot change. Fixed mindsets are extremely limiting in terms of achieving our goals and aspirations. Common traits of a fixed mindset include avoiding challenges, giving up easily, ignoring feedback, feeling threatened by the success of others, and having a desire to look smart. This mindset can also be achieved by a lack of self-confidence, thinking a task is too far-fetched or too challenging, and becoming complacent. Another characteristic of the fixed mindset is wanting and seeking approval from others. This is detrimental to developing a growth mindset. Instead of having learning and growing being our main priority, those with a fixed mindset are blinded by wanting to be right and seeking that approval. So by keeping learning and growing as our main priority, we can take steps towards developing a growth mindset. Once you're able to achieve the mindset that a failure is actually a positive action that gets you one step closer toward your successes, you're equipped with some of the strongest tools you can possibly have: a growth mindset and your mind. Recall in the beginning of the talk when I asked you what symbol you associate more with the word failure. Almost each and every one of you said you associate the red stop sign more with the word failure, which is totally normal. So, in the future, when failure occurs, I invite you to consider one of these two symbols in your head when failure occurs. And for most of you right now, that's the red stop sign. And once again, that's totally normal. However, failure has a very strong negative connotation, and I encourage you to change that narrative. So in the future, when failure occurs, make that green circle pop up. Nobody said that was going to be easy. Use that failure to launch and project yourself toward your future successes. Failure is not a bad thing. In fact, it's what we need in order to succeed. So get excited to see that green circle. And when that green circle does pop up, realize how you can learn, grow, and advance to do it even better the next time. So why should you care about developing a growth mindset? And what will be your motivation to change? Simply put, a growth mindset will help you celebrate the accomplishments of other people. It will teach you to ask, learn, and inquire about actions that other people took and challenges that they conquered. You never know what opportunity might come your way just from a simple conversation. So I encourage you to replace the word failing with learning and the word can't with yet. Let's put those two together, and we can already see the huge shift in mindset that it creates. You move from, I'm failing, I can't do it, to, I'm learning, I can do it, just not yet. According to a 2018 report from Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, 33% of entrepreneurs don't start a business because of the fear of failure. A entrepreneur is defined as an aspiring entrepreneur, somebody who hopes to one day own their own business. 33% of people don't even have the opportunity to see that green circle or that red stop sign. So, I encourage you to take out that piece of paper that I asked you to tuck away in your pocket earlier and take a look at what you wrote down. What you wrote down is a massive indicator of where your heart lies, what your passions are, and what you hold close to you. I invite you to consider if you've tried that task yet. If you have, you're now equipped with a growth mindset that can help lead you towards success. If you haven't, consider taking that leap. I didn't give you the keys today. You have had them all along. Now make it happen. Because what would you do if you knew you could succeed? Thank you.